welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about the show Greenleaf, and I'm basically just going to give a rundown about the show and my opinion on the show and everything. So basically I watched it and I thought it was like very different from the shows that I usually watch. I'm a person where I don't really like watching religious shows because like I feel like sometimes there are people that take religion and they do a lot with it, and they have like sometimes religious hypocrisy, and I don't think that's fair, and I just think that's wrong, and I don't really like believe in using religion as like for everything, because sometimes you just have to like use your own brain. Not everything can be for religion. And so basically we're just gonna give you a rundown about the show. So basically the show is about this girl and this family. They're very rich. They're kind of known as like, the people in town that are like pastors, preachers, and all that stuff. They're like religious, and because of like the money that they put into the church and everything, and the people that come to see them because they come from a big church, they make a lot of money. And because of that, they have like all these fancy cars. They have all these designer clothes, this mansion house, and all that stuff. And they have like a bunch of kids and all that. And so basically they have like their sons, and no, matter of fact, when I think about it, they don't even have a lot of sons. It's mostly daughters they have. They have Charity, Faith, Jacob, and Kevin. And so basically what happens is that season 1 is basically a whole season basically about Faith, and she basically ends up like committing suicide. And the reason why she ends up committing suicide is because she has an uncle, and he is like, the creepy uncle that nobody wants their daughter around because he likes to touch her planet feel on young girls and teenage girls and stuff like that. But no one says anything about it because they don't want to like, I don't know, explain it. They just don't want to like say anything. But he's like the uncle that you stay away from. Basically like that type of situation. And what happens is that basically people find out about it and why she ended up committing suicide. They uncover it. Everybody knows and all that stuff. And so basically during that whole trial conversation, what I really wanted to know about the show was the fact of like they made it seem like it was a thing of like they tried to make him look like they wasn't really giving you like a full rundown of it. It was like some side of the show was like, hey, he's guilty, other side of the show was like he's not guilty, and then all of that. Because there's like a scene where like he is talking to like his sister about it and all that stuff, and he's like literally crying to her, and he's like, I didn't do it, da 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 da. And then she's like, I believe you wouldn't do something like that, and all that stuff. And then there's like the other people, and they know he did that and all that stuff. And then we basically found that he actually did do it, because like for some reason they make like he was being framed, but he actually is not. And we actually find that he did do it, and there was like women that actually came up with those statements, but they had one statement be taken back and they had to redo it because they were like, they were basically trying to make her look like she doesn't know what she's saying, that she's a liar, so that when they look for like people that like were affected by this, they can't say she was actually affected by it because she retook her statement. Basically it's the situation, and that's what they're trying to do. And then like the dad sees it, he's upset because he already knows that he's did that to like her daughter, his daughter basically, and he's like very upset as any father would be. And on top of that, I think he ended up doing something to I forgot her name, to Gigi, because they're just saying where she's at this place, and they're like something happens, and then he's like speaking, he was like, no one's gonna believe you if you ever tell. And that's what I hate about the fact that she never told anybody. I feel like if she told her mom that would have been a good scene. But then I think there's actually a scene where she actually does say that she did tell like 20 years ago, and nobody believes her. Because there's a scene where Jacob's like, she told us 20 years ago, and y'all didn't believe her, and y'all said Uncle Mac was good for this, but he really wasn't. And if y'all just believed her, this mess would have been avoided, which is actually true. And that's the thing for Lady May. In the first couple of seasons, I never liked her because she was just awful. But then she slowly started to grow on me, and then I was like, you know what, Lady May's not that bad. Like, number one, when it came down to her like daughter's like thing of like assault and abuse and everything, the first thing she did was literally blame her, tell her that never happened, and literally took another of her daughters literally killing themselves for her to find out that her brother was a pedophile, a assaulter, a abuser, and everything under the sun for her to leave her, which is actually really sad. And then we dug more into them, and then you meet like her sister and everything, and you basically found out that she was like the sister. Okay, it was basically like, okay, I'm gonna go into it. So basically, then there's Lady May. We actually found out that Lady May was abused by her father as a child, and I never understood why they didn't talk about it more. And then somehow Matt got involved with it, and it was like, oh, Matt probably did it because he saw his father doing it, and it's like, just because someone sees somebody in their family do it doesn't mean they're always gonna do it. And I feel like if someone does do that, it's a lesson for them to correct the behavior and not follow the behavior. Like, you know, breaking generational curses, and the fact that they found a way to still baby him into his behavior and the crimes that he committed upsets me. And then after that, and then Mac dies, and somehow when Mac dies and everything, they threw a whole funeral for him, and they were like out here, I think, cremating him or some shit. Personally, if I ever had an assault or anything and he dies, I will clap and praise in the streets, because there is no reason for you to be throwing a funeral for him. Like, I understand he died and everything, but it's like, this man was out here assaulting young little girls and all that stuff. There ain't no reason to there ain't no reason to be having a funeral for him. The man didn't even go to jail for what he did. I think he did go to jail, but he only went for a little bit, and then he just like got right back into the show, got a whole apartment and everything. So he didn't even face consequences. And then after that, Jacob found out and all that stuff, and then somebody finally believed, because like the tapes and everything. And I feel like the fact that like she literally still didn't believe him when he said it, because there's a scene where after that whole debacle and everything, she literally came out of the room. She was literally crying out, because I feel like in the scene she was like, I don't want to believe my brother would do something like this, but she was like, I already know my brother does not like this. He's a dirty dog, but I don't believe it because he's family, like that type of shit. And I was like, she knows he did it. She just don't want to admit it. And then there's like a scene with Oprah and everything, and Oprah's like, you know he did it. It can't be like 20 years in and you don't know that he's doing it and all that stuff. And that's what I wanted to take too, because it's like, there's situations like people want to play innocent and everything, but it's like, you know that said person was doing it. You just turn a blind eye to it for whatever reason. Like, sometimes it could be money, sometimes because like imbalance of power. But the person knew, they just did not care. Lady May knew, she just did not care. They didn't want to believe that her brother would do something like that. That's what it was. But the audacity for her to literally go to the place where Faith ends up like literally committing suicide and all that stuff, and to try to make those sweet pastries and stuff like that, knowing damn well if she had just believed Gigi, none of this would have happened, sickens me. And then her, when it's Mac's funeral and they're doing whatever they want to do to his body, whatever, and then she's like, oh, they already know why Gigi's not coming for obvious reasons. And it's like, yeah, she's not coming for obvious reasons. And then Gigi ends up coming and helping the funeral. Let me say, Gigi, better person than me, because I'm not coming to nobody's funeral that did that awful, perfect crime to me, because, like, no, I'm not doing that shit. Like, no, I refuse to do that. No, I'm not gonna come to a funeral of somebody who's violated me. Hell no. 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 Also, I'm sorry if my hair looks a mess and I'm on camera. I just really want to build up my channel back to the way it was, get more subscribers, get more views, and all that stuff. And I just decided, you know what, let me get up and speak what I have to say, because I had a lot of videos on my channel and they actually did pretty decent. But my phone restarted, so I have to get back on my high horse and film my videos again. Oh yeah. And then after that, what else? Oh yeah, and then basically after that, he goes back on the prowl again, looking for more underage girls to go and assault and stuff like that. He finds a girl that's, like, very vulnerable and stuff like that. Like, mother is on drugs, father is not around, and he tries to be their protector, and kicks one of the other girls out that he was living with for whatever reason. And then after that, invites her back to the apartment, literally drugs her, and then attempts to assault her. And then after that, gets mad at her because she does not want to sleep with him. And that's one thing I never understood about the show, is the fact that they never brought that back up. Like, he was on the prowl again, like the predator that he is. Like, they never seemed to brought that up. Like, they brought up the fact that Gigi was gonna go to jail for murdering him, but not the fact that he was out here being a whole assaulter and abuser for, like, let's count, for, like, the 6th or 5th time. Like, what? I just never understood about that show. And then after that, the whole thing of, like, people, like, victim blaming, and was like, oh, she was doing it to get at him, and it was like, no, she was doing it because she genuinely thought that he had her daughter. And you have to think about it in this way, like, he did that to her, he's probably gonna do it to her daughter because she's younger and she's a teenager and she was around the same age that he was out here doing those things to her, and it just makes perfect sense. And he would probably do it out just to spite her because he knows that she's her daughter, and it's the easiest way to get to her is through her daughter. But surprisingly, he didn't actually do that, and he didn't even have her. She was safe and sound in bed. She ends up killing him because, like, of that reason. And, you know, I'm happy that this self-defense thing happened, because honestly, I would never want to see Gigi in prison. Like, y'all can say a lot of shit about Gigi, but I love her character. And then after that, you have Jacob's character. Not Jacob, what's his face? I forgot. James. I actually like James' character, but I feel like it was mostly just his admiration to his wife that I really liked. And then I didn't like him anymore in the other scenes because he was getting a little annoying, and then he cheated on her. And it was just kind of annoying because first they made it seem like it was like a little thing, and then they went back to the marriage, but then you found out that it was an ongoing affair, and then Personally, I don't care if it's a little thing or a long thing. I can't be with somebody that's cheating on me. Anywhere, period. Like, that's my rule. Like, you cheat on me, we're over, we're done. Like, there's no relationship. You know, be with somebody else, we're done. Like, no, I can't. No, that's just me. But whatever. And then after that, they bring up whole of, like, Lady May's affair, and it's like, I didn't realize the only reason she had an affair was because he cheated on her multiple times, lied about it, and then continued cheating on her for the rest of their marriage. On top of that, with her sister. What did y'all expect? And then they threw it back in her face and was like, oh, you cheated on him too. Like, after he cheated on her multiple times with her sister and lied about it and didn't deny it. Like, what did y'all think was going to happen? And then they threw it back in her face. Jesus. You know, something else. And then there is Jacob and his storylines. I honestly... Jacob is a hot-ass mess. I'm going to be honest about that. Jacob's character is something else. Jacob, he honestly just needs to be alone because like I don't know what the point of him being married to Carissa was, because all he did was cheat on her, and then she cheated back on him. He acted like a damn baby, and he acted mad and stuff like that. So it's like, you can cheat on her and all that stuff, but she can't cheat on you. And it's like, and through the ending of the show, literally in season 5, like literally, I think the second to last episode, we found out that he kept on cheating on her. Like, there was Alexa in season 1, and then there was apparently someone named Melissa, and then there was like another girl, and there was another girl, and then, yeah. And then apparently we found out that, and then like there was even one time he like admitted to it, and then he was like, oh, it was only one time, and it was in a washing machine, and that was like the third person he cheated on his wife with. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And it's like, his character could never take accountability for his actions. It's like, you can really tell this man, you cheated on me, I'm leaving you, and he'd be like, oh, but what did you do? Or something like, and so what? Because there's a scene where she literally said she cheated on him because he cheated on her, and he was like, oh, but I didn't give you chlamydia. And it's like, I'm supposed to give you a round of applause for that. So it's like, you're supposed to go around in the streets, and because you don't give me chlamydia, I should get on my knees and start clapping for you? Like, no. Like, no, I'm not giving you a cookie for being a good husband or a good boyfriend. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay loyal. And staying loyal is the bare minimum. Whew, y'all give me a headache. Their marriage is a hot mess, and I'm honestly happy that she cheated back on him with Fernando. But honestly, if it was me, I would have just left him a long time ago. I'm sorry. No. I would have left him a long time ago, gave him the kids, led my life, and said sayonara to him. And the fact that she was like literally out here like defending him and stuff like that, and was basically like, oh, it's not all his fault, and their divorce is basically, it's like, y'all should have divorced a long time ago. And yes, in his eyes and her eyes, they're divorcing because she cheated. But it's like, okay, that is true. That's the whole reason why they're divorcing. Because let's be honest, if he had kept on cheating on her and she didn't do anything, they would have never divorced, because that's how selfish his character is. Oh yeah, and Tasha too, because that's how selfish his character be. It's like, this man could kill, destroy, assault, and everything. She would stay with him, and they would have a quote-unquote happy marriage. But as soon as she did the same thing, it was awful, and it was over. And it was just like the double standard in the marriage. It was like, this man could kiss, mess around with, do this and that, but she couldn't. And as soon as she did it, he could not take it, and he went crying to his mother. And I'm very happy that the mother set him straight and explained that he had no respect for a woman, and that was the way he's seen her. Because there's actually a scene where they're all together and they already know about the cheating that his father had done and everything, and they're kind of like, oh, it is what it is. And I feel like that's like maybe one of the things that could have happened, why probably Sally was going to cheat on his wife. And then they're shocked, like, to learn that it was like an ongoing thing and stuff like that. What else? And then there's Zora and Isa. I really liked the how do I explain it? Like, I really liked how they explained how their relationship was toxic from like little to end. And I'm just happy she didn't die, and I'm just happy she left him alone. But I'm sad that she had to deal with him and his foolishness. What else? And then Charity's character. I actually liked Charity's character in the beginning, but then she got annoying and then she got cocky. And it's like, I understand why Charity was the way she was and why she did what she did, but at the same time, you can't go behind your family's back and do stuff like that. And it's like, if you're gonna do stuff like that and be sneaky about it, at least do it in a place in where it's like, how do I say, it's not going to be seen as treacherous or whatever, and your family's not going to like kick you out or whatever. And then and I actually liked her and Kevin, but then we find out he's gay, and it's just so much. And then Kevin's gay storyline was something else, because he literally abandoned his child, was out here having the time of his life, and everything, but when she did it, it was a problem, because there's actually a scene where like she literally did the same shit that he did, and it was a problem, and she got arrested because she took the child with her, and then he basically called police on her for basically child endangerment. And when he did that, it was like nothing. He was out here trying to discover himself and find himself. He went to a group to get away from his problems or whatever. And it's like, so she can't find herself again. I do not like this character. You need to get away from me. I do not like this character. Anything else I have to say about the show? I have anything else about the show. And then, like I said, there's Jacob's character. Something else. And then there's Carissa's character. I don't really have much to say about her character. I just find her annoying. But I felt bad for her. But I just find her extremely annoying. And then there's Lady May's character. I don't really feel much for Lady May's character. I just kind of find her annoying too. I feel like Oprah's character is decent. Then there's Tasha. I don't like Tasha. I don't like Basie. Then there's Zora. Oh my god, Zora's so annoying. And then there's the other girl. I forgot what her name was. I find her character decent. The only character I could say that I actually like in the show is Gigi, and that's it. Yeah. And especially with the parts where like he would like literally be on the show, and then he'd be like, oh, they gave him so much crap for cheating, but they were also cheating, and it's like, you shouldn't be cheating in the first place. And yes, I know he's understanding that he's trying to point out the hypocrisy, but it's like, yes, you were cheating, they cheated, they took a prostitute, but it's like, y'all shouldn't be cheating in the first place. And they shouldn't be comparing of cheating, because cheating is cheating. There's no difference. It just got on my nerves. And then there's like the ending of season 5 of Greenleaf or whatever. I did not expect Greenleaf to end like that. I expected a happy ending. And then, and then basically Lady May takes the mansion, and all that stuff, because there was like a dispute, but they figured it out, and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the relationship of Gigi and the journalist guy. I thought they were pretty cute. And then the son of Gigi, that we basically found out, which doesn't make any sense to me, because there's like no flashbacks, no nothing, and it just boom, she has a son that nobody knows about. He's a criminal and all that stuff. And he turns his life around or whatever. Because I didn't really watch those episodes. Sorry, my throat, my neck. He tries to kill himself, which I did not see coming. She doesn't want to speak to either one of them. They get past that. He gets saved and all that stuff. But I didn't really care for his character, although I found his character to be very complex and stuff like that. I just didn't care for his character. I feel like they could have dived more into him though. And then there's the relationship with Zora and the other girl, I forgot her name. And I actually like the other girls in his relationship a lot, because I thought they were cute. Like, their brother-sister relationship is adorable. Anything else I have to say about the show? Jesus Christ, I'm so... sorry. It's just my neck. No. Well, that's the end of my show. Follow me for more. After that, we also find out that, Tasha and the other girls are basically like sisters. I was very shocked at that, to be honest, because I thought they were just like friends, and then Basie comes in, and Basie's her brother, and it just made it like very complicated, because it's like, is there any sense, is there any, not any sense? I'm so confused. And I just left it alone, because I don't want to put that on my head. Who wants to put that on my head? I don't. And then we found out about like the relationship of like whatever. And it was basically the house was given because somebody's son or whatever, and she basically decides not to do it out of like, she doesn't think it's her blessing, it's supposed to be theirs, kept or whatever. And There's probably more, but I can't remember, and I'm not going to do that. Just a TV show.
Goodbye. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.